Recorded Books presents Double Blind, a modern LitRPG by J. Mccoy. Narrated by Ramón de Ocampo. Chapter 1. Ever heard something repeated so many times it begins to lose meaning? It doesn't even take that many repetitions. The syllables begin to bleed, fricatives and sibilants blending together into a phonetic puddle that holds less meaning than white noise. If the repetitions continue, you can watch someone repeating the word, observe the movements of their lips carefully, and still not be able to make it out. The original sound and form utterly lost to you. This phenomenon has a name: semantic satiation. And for me, that word is sorry. I've heard it so many times across my life that it has lost all significance beyond the enmity it invokes. Whether it's your situation, your mother's drinking problem, or one of life's little tragedies, someone will find a way to be sorry for it. And there is no word in the English language as useless as sorry. Which was why, as my only friend blubbered in my arms and I tried in vain to avoid the tears and snot streaming from his face, I was determined not to apologize. Platitudes helped nothing. It was better to be useful. "Those assholes! They can't do this to me. I'm going to sue them into the ground." I held my tongue, biting off a sharp response before it was spoken aloud. I knew my first responses had a tendency of coming out harsh, something he wouldn't respond well to. So I opted for a simple denial. "No, you won't, Nick." We were both students at Talmont High. Ironically, not too long ago, I hated Nick. He used to be part of the upper social stratosphere, the chic, sophisticated, athletic, and techno-savvy group that looked down on everyone else, oozing with confidence and self-assured pedantry. Not to mention he looked the part: wavy brown hair, near-colorless blue eyes, and outweighed me by at least 80 pounds of pure muscle. Which is why we likely made a bizarre sight, him bulging, oversized, yet clinging to me in the abandoned computer lab as if the slightest breeze could blow him away. It was a butchered horse-collar tackle that did him in. Couldn't get his balance right after the hit. His leg snapped backward, ending his career with a made literal fall from grace. Now he walked with a metal-reinforced brace and a single crutch. He hadn't taken the adjustment well, wasn't able to accept the end of his tenure at the apex of the school's hierarchy. He turned against the skid, hit the gym just as hard, and chased more girls than he ever had on the football team. Which led us to this unfortunate series of events. "Everyone's seen it, man. Everybody. Someone taped an elephant with a tiny trunk and googly eyes to my locker this morning. Someone's got to pay for that." Nick wiped at his eyes angrily. I was about to comment that I hadn't seen it, but stopped when I realized that wouldn't matter. At school, I existed outside the hierarchy. There was no individual group or clique that I belonged to, and as such, I was effectively no one. And to be honest, I liked it that way. "Look," I said, "there's no positive outcome going that route. At best, you win. Get some mild to moderate revenge, and watch in horror as the civil case starring your junk goes viral, Barbra Streisand effect. At worst, you fail and just come off as a loser." I was going to say impotent, but figured that was not the word he needed to hear right now. "There needs to be consequences for this shit. If it was some girl, heads would be rolling." I rolled my eyes as he ranted. It was blatantly untrue. The number of girls at the school with leaked nudes was astronomical and rarely resulted in any significant fallout. Let me ask you something. Say you wanted to send something out and wanted to make sure it couldn't be traced back to you. How would you do that? Snapchat? Another eye roll. No, that can be traced back to you. You'd use Signal or Echo or Vigilant, shit that's untraceable by design. Which I guarantee you is what those asshats are using. The ones at the top of the chain.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?